Hello everyone, hope you're well, you're smelling great, enjoying your favourite fragrances today, and this is what we've got. It is Intense Red Tobacco from the house of Mancera. So welcome back anyone, or welcome if it's your first visit here, and we've got Intense Red Tobacco from Mancera today, and I'll also do just a short one, little comparison to the original here. Yeah, I bought this. I exchanged a other Mancera, is it Oud Lemon Mint? I sent it back. Yeah, they refunded me. I thought I'd buy this. The reason I sent the other one back was because really poor performance. Other than the opening after that, it dissipated off my skin. I got about 30 minutes, an hour out of it. It's not enough for me on a fragrance, really. I've had that off a couple of Manceras recently, whether they've been reformulated or they've changed the ingredients or whatever. I was really quite surprised that they're quite beastly initially and then they just evaporate. So hoping this is different, because I actually like the original and I get 12 hours easy off the original, easy, no problem. I wouldn't be exaggerating, I'd probably get 24 hours to be fair. Yeah, let's get into this. I'll just briefly read. This is off their website. Its intensity is matched only by its sensuality. You asked, we did. Discover the beast mode of red tobacco. Do you dare step into its lair and discover this perfume extract? A highly concentrated, powerful, assertive and heady fragrance that will engrave your presence in the space around you. Wow. Yeah, it's they're advertising it there as beast mode, which the original is. Now, to beast mode on top of the original. It's been out a while, this, I think a year or two, so it was going to be got at some stage. I just had other things to buy before this, and due to the return of Nutino, I just thought, you know what, maybe now's the time, let's get it. Whether or not it's redundant, if it's similar to the original, though it's one of those ones I question, because of the strength of the original, why one needs to make it intense. But we'll see. I mean, I'm a firm believer everyone, whether you're a fragrance collector or just, you've got a few in your collection, everyone needs to have a beast mode fragrance. At least one. Needs to own at least one. Whether that's your main one or one of your collection. They're just really good fun. And if you get the right one that smells okay, brilliant. So that's the bottle. Very similar to the original. Very similar bottles. Let's get the other one out actually. Smell that. So yeah, identical. The only difference is that says intense and that says red tobacco. Let's have a look. I can smell that. This smells less than this. That's odd. But it needs spraying, so it's perhaps not odd. Right, how's best to do it? Do you know what? Let's have a wear of this. Right, that's all I'm going to put on that. Right. It does smell similar. This smells a little more smoky and almost leather. I've resisted looking at the ingredients on this. I imagine they're probably not far off different to the original. I'm getting a hint of leather on this. The other one, to me, opened up like Carlisle. So I always felt it was like a Carlisle and a Herod mix. Whereas this, it's got less of that Carlisle opening. More of a leather opening. It still feels a very powerful fragrance. I'm going to really have to wear this and see if there's much difference, because right now what I'm picking up is there's a lot of similarity, and I don't know if there's be enough difference to warrant having both. I think there's potential of redundancy from the original. From my first impressions now, I am actually preferring the original. Not to say this is shabby, it isn't, and it's certainly worth having if you haven't got the original. Let's have a look what's in this. Right, okay, yeah, so I just quickly glanced there. The head notes on this are saffron, cinnamon, incense, nutmeg and pear. The heart notes, leather, precious tobacco, patchouli, vetiver and jasmine, and base notes, rich amber, woody notes, vanilla pods and white musk. So that's what I picked up straight away with this, is the leather. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so it didn't have leather in the original. They've swapped a few things out. They've taken out the Nepalese oud. There's not much difference, to be fair, in what's in this. So the main accords are warm, spicy, tobacco, leather, sweet, woody, vanilla, smoky, animalic, powdery, amber. And it is, again, from Pierre Montale. Forgetting it's saying top notes, cinnamon, Agarwood oud, incense, pear, saffron, nutmeg. Middle notes, tobacco, leather, patchouli, jasmine and vetiver. And the base notes, vanilla, musk, Guaiac and Sandalwood and Ambergris. So very similar notes, couple of tweaks. It's coming up here as Eternal. It was launched in 23, so 2 years ago. It's large, enormous. It doesn't surprise me. Either of these are real announcement statement makers. And it's coming back as more male and okay value. I think full retail, this is about 120 actually. Let's have a look. All right, it's 185 euro, so probably about 140, 150 English at full retail. At discounters, this is 104. I think that's great value for what type of fragrance this is. If you want one beast mode in your collection, then you ain't going to go wrong with either of these. Me personally, I'm preferring the other. This does feel a little bit more polished and it doesn't feel as monstrous. That is probably one of the strongest I've got in the collection. That and Carlisle. Carlisle's just a flipping savage. Like, I get 24 hours off Carlisle. I'll put on a bit of this on this wrist. It's still, what I do notice with these red tobaccos is it still comes out a little out the gate synthetic, unpolished, unblended, though my experience with the original is it's similar. And after a while though, once that dissipates, it to me it comes over as a masterpiece. It really, right, yeah, so that's a lot more, I'd say, screechy. It's almost like a chocolatey, but it's very screechy, though when that dries down, second to none. It's beautiful dried out. They're really similar though. It's the leather on that. It's so much so, what I would say is you cannot distinguish between these two at all. Now, other than the leather note, it's almost like they're both identical, though you can smell leather now. They cancel each other totally out, other than the leather. And oddly enough, this does seem a little bit more woodier, which surprises me, because they've taken the ouds out of it, according to their own site, not for Gantica. I'd have to wait for the dry down to make my mind up on these. This Intense does feel a little bit more quality. It's starting to come around a little bit to that leather actually. It does, it feels a little bit more tidier, this. So let's see what some people are saying about it then. Straight away smells better than the OG, but it does not project at all. And I get nose blind to it within minutes. That's interesting. What did it say on projection there? It's the arch, it said it's enormous. Maybe, yeah, it doesn't project as much. Right. Absolute beast. Hell yeah. Walk into a room with this shit on and everyone starts growing chest hair. Got a decant and immediately purchased a full bottle. I will wear this in 100-degree weather just to see how many people choke as I walk by. And yeah. Warm weather fragrance, would this be one? Probably not, unless you want to do what that person is doing. I just imagine walking into a room with this, like, particularly if people aren't used to this type of fragrance. This scent is delectable. I get a smoky dark chocolate on my skin, which is oddly enough what I got with the original. Not getting it with this. There is like a chocolatey scent vibe to that. Not with this. As it dries down, it turns into more of a vanilla leather scent with some spice in the background. Definitely something that I think needs to be tried on skin rather than just on paper. I think that leather does add a little bit of maturity, I'd say. It does feel a little bit more mature, this Intense one. Actually pretty damn good. Once you let this sit for a few months, the opening is smoother. I get a tobacco spicy factor along with a very dense vanilla sweetness. This is beautiful in very cold weather, and hey, you still smell tasty even if you wear it in mild weather like I am today. Well, I'm wearing this in hot weather. Though I can't wait for the winter to do these type of testings. Right here, leather note ruins everything. Base of this fragrance and even the name. OG is amazing, which is basically men's fragrance, and you shouldn't be like a pussy and say, oh, it's too harsh in the opening, it smells disgusting, etc. Well, I don't think that's being a pussy. It's just like, signs of a good quality fragrance is the opening is just smooth and attractive. It's not being a pussy if your fragrance comes out like clunky and synthetic and displeasing. Yeah, given the choice out of the two openings, I'd much rather have a beautiful, more elegant, refined, pleasurable opening than one that's not. It's not being a positive. Spraying this fragrance is like spraying 300 cigarettes mixed with the potency of a nuclear bomb. Would definitely recommend. I cannot stand the rubbery animalic note. It's like you take PDM Carlisle and throw some cheap leather and burnt tar into it. I like that about the OG. Felt like a Carlisle with increased, really juicy tobacco. Don't get the burnt tire. I just got the decant of this scent. It's slightly nicer than the OG, however its longevity on my skin is really bad, only 2 hours. But on clothes, it lasts quite a while. I still prefer the OG though. Now, this is my thing. And I don't know, we'll have to find out. And this is where this may fall down in comparison. Because, and please, if anyone's experiencing this themselves with the Mancera, for me, the last few years, the ones that I've bought of Mancera, longevity has just been a few hours max. And of real beastly fragrances as well. That person's experienced this with a new fragrance, not even one that's been reformulated. It is cause for concern. It actually started to put me off getting any more Manceras. It's crazy to me that anyone could think the OG red tobacco is better than this. To me, this is the best tobacco fragrance of all time. That's a crazy comment to even say this is the best. There is so many better tobaccos in this. You can't tell me that's better than Naxos or Herod. Personally, probably. And what's the other one? The Amouage tobacco. Cecile Zarokian tobacco. Phenomenal. It's good. Yeah, I'm not berating that person's taste at all, because this is an absolute stunner. Though, to my taste, all those three, I think you're hard pressed to beat Naxos and Herod for tobacco. Someone here saying worst from the house. Was so excited to see great reviews. Worst cologne in my entire collection of over $10,000. That's something. That's an accolade. To go straight into someone's collection that's the worst ever. They're starting to be different now and dry down in a different way. I love the dry down on the OG. Is it enough though just to change one or two notes of a fragrance? Yeah, so many people are talking about feels toned down to the original. The projection and sillage are awful. The spray's a nightmare. The F happened, Mancera. Either way, it's a good thing I've got the 2021 OG bottles. Returning this one to FB. A lot of people liking it to the original. Straight up headache inducing, nothing more. Straight up oud with a little bit of sweetness. I hate it. Honestly, because I hate oud scent. However, if that's what you like, go for it. I did 2 sprays only and lasted exactly 7 hours. Projection is pretty good for around 2 hours. And now it gets into a small bubble. For 2 sprays, it's definitely good, yet still giving it another chance in the more colder weather. I don't pick any oud up in there. Just leather and patchouli, and a little bit of tobacco. It's not as tobacco as his original. This stuff is so good, it's so strong. If you don't like darker oud, leather, tobacco fragrances, I'd stay away. If you tend to like things like Naxos, Ombre Leather, PDM Herod and Tobacco Vanille, I'd highly recommend this one. Now, again, people picking up on the oud, it doesn't list it on the Mancera. It lists it in Fragrantica. It doesn't list it on the Mancera side. All it says on there is woody notes. So I'm inclined to believe it isn't oud in this. It's probably a synthetic woody molecule that they've developed for it. This has all the notes I hate. 1 out of 10. Less performance than the OG. Still beastly. Name is misleading. The OG's stronger. This is just like the OG, but a lot more woody smelling and no harsh opening. Love it, but still prefer the OG due to its performance. Yeah, I have both Intense and Original. Intense is heavy on the leather in my opinion. The Original is sweeter and I prefer that one. I'm inclined to say the same. It's not that this is terrible in any way. It's still stunning. If you like this type of scent profile, it's an absolute winner. And really, for £100 a bottle, for 120ml, one's not going to need more than 4 sprays of this on. The tobacco is so mature and smooth and easy to wear for me. Very good performance here. 24-hour longevity. To me, it was the leather that makes this feel more mature, more sophisticated. Many are saying weak, and many saying beast and long lasting. This person said it needs 10 to 20 sprays for it to grab people's attention and get compliments. I don't think that's going to need 20. It's not a pear there. Very peary. Yeah, I don't think you're going to need 20 sprays of that, mate. I mean, that might be just dosnemia. You should spray about 5 to 15 sprays. Does this need to exist? Red tobacco is the only frag I've ever sold because it was too strong. This is probably up there in my top 10 of most compliment and fragrances, the original. Be interesting to see with this one. Literally every time I wear the original, I get a compliment. Reading those comments, it's really hard to make one's mind up because you're probably half and half there with people loving it and hating it and getting performance and not getting performance. It gets 4.02 out of 5 with just about 1,000 votes. So it does rank well. One last sniff. What I will say is, because they've neutralised each other, this one has more of a aroma, more of a difference. Don't know if it's enough of a difference to make that one redundant. It's almost like, what was the point of this? Just you put leather in it. And so if you like leather on top of your tobacco, woody notes and patchouli, then yeah. If not, if you don't like leather, stick with the original. Not much difference there. Let me know if anyone's tried out either of these or both of these, what your thoughts were. I don't need this, to be honest. I don't. I think if one's considering buying these, buy one or the other. I really don't need the both. And by the sounds of it, this new one there may be potential performance issues with it. If you do want a beast and you do want a fragrance that lasts, I don't think you're going to go far wrong with the original. I'd probably stick with that given the choice. So that was Intense Red Tobacco. I'll leave it at that. I hope you got something out of it, and please do continue creating value in your lives and environment, and I'll wish you all the best for now. Thank you. Bye.